Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope everything is well. Hope you guys are doing okay. Always forget to mute myself on the feed. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope your week is going well. This is going to be a very truncated week. It's holiday week in the U.S. It's turkey time. We're going to trade today, tomorrow, and that's it for the rest of the week. Tomorrow's probably going to be even slower than going to be probably pretty slow already because by tomorrow, most everybody in the U.S. is going to be gone. I think as the week is shaping up, everybody came in thinking this week was going to be an up week. It's still a little bit of positive hangover from the Trump win. But as we are seeing, I think Trump is back to his old tricks. He announced last night during Asia session they want to put a 25% tariff against Mexico, which honestly is a really interesting policy because essentially what he did is he threatened Mexico with two things. He said, if you don't take care of your Sinaloa cartel problem, which is importing fentanyl into the U.S., and we will put troops on the border, and two, we'll slap 25% tariffs against everything that you guys are bringing in here. And remember that literally almost every single product that is kind of semi-made is made in Mexico now. Mexico has now become the second most important manufacturing destination outside of China for the U.S. market. And it's actually become very productive. Mexican workers are much more productive than Chinese workers. So really, I think, rattled the cages of the Mexican president. I'm actually wondering, it's not out of the realm of possibility if Mexico is going to go the way of El Salvador and essentially create these incredibly strict prison camps for gang members and maybe actually solve the criminal problem in Mexico. Because if you could solve that, Mexico would be a booming place. But anyways, Trump came out with this. The market obviously freaked out. We had a big draft in Asia, which was interesting, which definitely created lots of different opportunities. I traded like crazy. All the indices. I traded S&P and NASDAQ in Asia. It was great. A lot of people were complaining because they hate the news bomb because there was a lot of whipsaw action. But remember, the way we trade, whipsaw action is just made picture perfect for us. It also pushed Bitcoin lower at the beginning, which I traded as well. Let me sort of show you. This was all this when the Trump. Actually, ironically enough, Bitcoin did not drop very much. But this was Trump's announcement. Bitcoin kind of stayed, and then it actually rallied. That's right. I forgot. I bought the Bitcoin over here, and it kind of rallied into the move. But I got to tell you, the cool thing, and this is the reason why I love scalping with you, is that it really doesn't matter what the news is, because the way the structures of my indicator, which I'm going to go through with you in just a minute as everybody gets into the room, the way the structure is, you can make money whether there's a news bomb, whether it's a retrace, whether it's a continuity trade. This thing has such richness in it in terms of being able to interpret it that I think you'll really appreciate it. So I want to show you kind of a new version of the BFF Scalper 2.0. Those of you who want, let me just put this up here. Where am I? Comments. Okay. I'm going to put this up. If you guys want to get this totally for free, here's the link to 8cap. And all you have to do is take one of those packages from the cheapest to the more expensive one that has more values in it. And if you sign up for any one of these packages, you will get this indicator from me absolutely for free. This is part of my kind of like pre-New Year's Eve giveaway as we're starting the London sessions. After the new year, it's going to be more expensive to get in there. If you guys want to, if you're a US customer and this is the only people in the world that cannot take advantage of this. If you're a U.S. customer, then you can use this link over here to sign up with us, and and I will give it to you for a sign up. But there's no reason to kind of pay us money if all you need to do is just open an account and get it for free. So I'm hoping everybody will open an account with our friends at ACAP. Anyways, let's take a look at what the indicator does and how I rewrote it. That I think is going to be really cool. It's actually sort of very applicable to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is, of course, the single most volatile instrument that any of us trade. So to review, and I made this indicator, by the way, totally viable for dark mode. A lot of people ask me, because I had the 200 period SMA as black, now I made it red. So if you're using dark mode, I'm actually curious. I haven't even looked at how this looks in dark mode. Let's see, dark theme. Yeah, you can see it totally. I mean, I'm not a lover of dark theme, but a lot of people really, really like dark theme. So, I'll leave it alone. I'm actually curious. Let's do our first. I'm happy to do it either way. Let's do our first poll of the day. Do you prefer BFF scalper light theme, dark theme? Let me know. I'm happy to do it either way. Anyways, the rules for those of you who are new and who haven't gotten into how to use it. And by the way, everybody who's watching me on Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Come on over to the YouTube/BK Forex channel. Get into the live right now, because the links are there. You can get the links on YouTube, and also I think it'll be easier for you guys to really see all the nuances of what I'm about to show you. So the way the BFF scalper works, we're using a 1 minute chart. The price action is marked green if it's above the short-term 8-period SMA, whether it's below or above the 200 SMA, and red if it's below the 8-period SMA. So this blue line, if we're below it, the price action is red. If we're above it, the price action is green. However, positionally, obviously, we are in a downtrend if the blue is below the red, and we're in an uptrend if the blue is above the red. So those are just basic foundational ideas of how BFF works. Additionally, and this is where it gets super interesting, we have a running constant calculation of the difference between the blue and the red moving averages. So the basic assumption is, if the moving averages are compressed, are close to each other, and about to start to separate, sort of like a flower, starting to come out, like for example, right over here, that's the beginning of a trend. That's the highest probability of success for a trend-based trader, right? Once they get super wide, once they separate significantly, and significantly means one thing in every instrument, another thing in Bitcoin. So generally, in every instrument, I use a 30 basis separation. So 1/3 of a 1% of the underlying notionals. Just for argument's sake, let's say the in NASDAQ, the underlying notional is $20,000, right? So if it's 60 points between the red line and the blue line, that's 30 basis points. That's pretty wide. And at that point, I'm no longer looking for trend. I'm looking for a counter trend. I'm looking to buy the dip. I'm looking for a turn trade to happen. Well, that's not the case with Bitcoin, because that's too shallow a volatility envelope. For Bitcoin, we're literally going to be using twice the envelope, which is about 60 basis points, right? Maybe even, you could even almost use it 90 basis points. Like for example, if I go into the replay over here, you see it's 126 basis, for like 1%. There's a 1% separation, and that's nothing in Bitcoin. That's just the beginning of a possible move. I would even say that maybe at 1% is when you begin to kind of look for possible turn trades, because Bitcoin is just such a volatile move. It moves 3 or 4% a day. Everything else moves like 0.5% a day. You have to really, really give yourself much wider ranges for turn trades, right? Now, let's talk about trend trades. Let's talk about how trades trade as a trend, and then we can talk about how they trade as turn. So as I said, the best trend trades, and the cool thing about my scalper is it applies to all sorts of personalities. If you're a momentum trader, this will work. If you're a reversal trader, this will work. If you're a retrace trader, which is what I am, right? So there's actually 4 types of personalities, in my opinion. There is the momentum trader that trades in trend. There is the retrace trader that trades with trend. There is the reversal trader, and then there is the retrace reversal trader. Okay, I am sort of like I'm basically retrace trend, retrace reversal type of trader. I always like to buy. I like to buy dips, sell rips, all within context. Meaning, as when it rises, I like to be selling it. When it falls, I like to be buying it. Whether I do it within trend or counter trend depends a lot on where the price action is. A lot of people just like to sell the lows or buy the highs. They like to be breakout traders. So the cool thing is this thing is designed for both possibilities. So the momentum labels are the red labels. So you have any of these red labels. This is downward momentum labels. What's interesting about how they're structured is if you're in a downtrend and momentum is increasing, you will see the L next to the label. So this is 3L, meaning this label is lower than 2, momentum is in place. 4L, lower than 3, momentum is in place. What that's telling you, basically, if you're a momentum trader, you could just sell this without a bandit. Just sell the lows, sell the lows, sell the lows, stop right here. This is the first sign of possible turn, right? Now you wait and see, is it going to hold the lows? So you have 7H. Is it going to hold the lows over here at the prior reversal? Doesn't hold the lows. Momentum continues, and you go to 8L, 9L, stop right here, 10H. You see that over here? It's a second sign that momentum is no longer in place. Now, once momentum is no longer in place, right? Once momentum is no longer in place, we can start to look for possible reversal things. Moving average, to use a Bitcoin, it really is almost like an open question. But at minimum, I really want to see like 60 to 80 basis points of width before I want to do any kind of reversals. Okay, because Bitcoin is just so volatile. But back to the idea of how am I picking turns. So I've sold all of this. The first sign to me that we may be at a bottoming formation, that we kind of bottoming out, is actually this reversal signal. This is the first. You see how all the reversal signals are confirming the momentum signals? They're all lower. This is the first high. 9 high tells you that that now we have a higher low. If I have this, my money trade, the trade that I love to do, is I wait for the red label to appear and I buy this dip. I buy the close of this label. Almost always, like 9 out of 10 times in my experience, I'm able to totally and completely buy the low, and then it reverses itself to the upside, right? Now, this is where it gets interesting. Now we're getting a lot of contrary signals. Now we're making sort of fresh lows, right? This is a 12L and a 12L. The reversal signal and the momentum signal are telling you that they're kind of making fresh lows. So, and the moving averages are very, very tight together. So it's a very real possibility that we could return back to selling. So what I'm going to do right now with you guys is we'll do this over here. Actually, we're going to do this with my indicator. With my indicator here, I'm going to sell the high over here at 1/10 the just 0.10 size, a tenth of a lot. Now, many of you have seen this from last week. I kind of want to review this with you. This is my free giveaway flash trader tool designed for any instrument in the world to be traded with. We trade Bitcoin in this specific configuration that we trade it in multiple entry stages. At small sizes, they get progressively larger in order to assure that we have an incredibly high chance of winning and resolving our trades. So as you can see over here, this is the same indicator. And by the way, if you, again, all you need to do is simply sign up with my friends at ACAP, and I will give this to you for free, along with the MetaTrader indicator for free. So if you're trading strictly through MetaTrader and not using TradingView, you can use it on MetaTrader. If you're using TradingView, you can use TradingView. If you're using both, you'll get both. You'll get access to both indicators totally for free, so you can interpret this. And remember, you can trade literally anything in the world, which I do. If those of you who are going to join me in New York are going to see me trade this on futures, the exact same fashion. But with Bitcoin, we have a very specific protocol that works like a charm. Last week, I showed it to you. Remember, last week we were around 95,000. We're now at 96,200. Let's see if we can put more money on the board. So what we're doing, oops, oh shit. I just realized I fucked up. Okay, I fixed that. By the way, you see how quick that was? I forgot to, I had my take profit from a prior trade. I had my take profit set at 0, meaning at break even. In other words, if this thing hit the price that I entered in, it would have basically taken me out at 0 profit. And I quickly changed it to 100 points, because with Bitcoin, we're targeting 100 points per each individual trade. So in this particular case, what I did is, my view was, we're still in a downtrend. The moving averages have compressed, and the reversal and the continuity signals told us that the downtrend may resume. So I am happy to short this thing into the highs, thinking that the downtrend has resumed. There's 3 things that are going on here. Moving averages are nice and tight. The reversal and continuation signals are showing me that there's possibly some fresh low selling momentum, and I get great price by trying to sell the highs. So I am short right now here at 589, targeting 489, and the way we manage these trades, and this is the interesting part about it, is we have a very, very large stop. We have a 1,000-point stop on Bitcoin, which is just an emergency stop. It's not there as a real stop. It's there to give us more than one possible entry into the position. Because if this thing, starts to go around 90, let's say 90, 94, 93, like 700, 800, a little bit higher, we'll short a little bit more. We'll try to give ourselves more than one opportunity to resolve this trade in a proper fashion. As you can see earlier today, I had 2 cycles, 0.10 and 0.2 trades, and the 0.2 trade instantly resolved for me, which allowed me to basically make money on the whole trade. So I'm actually going to reset this over here. So right now, I'm just targeting the price of 489, right, on the trade. And we can the cool thing is, the guys at ACAP set me up on the trade, and set me up with an account. Let me see if I can just do this right now. Trading panel. Why is this not working? Well, interesting. Let me try it. Oh, my whole thing is just frozen. I don't know why my chart is frozen. Okay, let me connect to my to my account here. Okay, so I'm connected to the account, and here's the account. We're going to go to Bitcoin. I'm going to go full screen here, right? And we're going to mimic one. We're going to mimic stop and size. So I'm going to sell this at the 600 level here. I actually got better prices. Okay, and oh, sorry, now I forgot. So take profit is going to be $10. Stop loss we'll put at $100 above here. That is not, by the way, how we're going to run this thing. I totally forgot that this is it's a new thing in Bitcoin that I want to a new thing in TradingView that I want to show you for those of you who are just using TradingView as a trade. So what am I? 2,000, 1,000. All right. You know what? Let me just sort of say I'm gonna. Okay. I'm gonna close my trade here in Bitcoin. And by the way, let's see where I'm at in here. I'm at 40 points in here. I'm looking for a 100-point move. I'm going to show you how to set up the TradingView in just a second, because it's hard for me to kind of manage both the MetaTrader and TradingView trades right now. But in TradingView, there's a really cool new function that allows you to set up stops and targets the same way as MetaTrader. So MetaTrader came very close, came to about plus 70 points. Remember, I have to make spread. The reason why we're using such large stops and targets is because you have to make spread in Bitcoin, which is 30 points by itself. This is the only way you can scalp Bitcoin intelligently. But as you do, it becomes really cool. And while we're doing this, just going to watch Bitcoin just a little bit here. My target is 489. So it's got to come down a little bit to 489. I'm using, my recommendation is to use MetaTrader 5. Is there a minimum you need to put? Yes, you need to put $500 minimum if you want to just get this, the beginning order. If you want to get all the functionality and all of the cool stuff, including my ODP robot, which I'm going to be doing, which is a fully automated self-trading robot, which I'm going to talk about tonight on YouTube. You just need to put 5,000 or more into the account. So it's small amounts of money. You can start with as little as $500. Sorry, I know I was trying to show you both TradingView, because the whole idea is that this week I could also show you how to trade on TradingView as well as on MetaTrader. But let's not keep things complicated. Is that $500 use margin on that trade? Can't quite read it. In this particular trade, the margin is, yes, $500, 0.1. So obviously, if you only had a $500 account, you wouldn't be using 0.1 trade. This is a $96,000 account. You'd be using 0.01 trade, 1/10 the size, for your trading. But yes. All right, so we're putzing around. I'm trying to, I sold right over here. We came very close, but obviously just couldn't make spread on Bitcoin. So we'll be patient. We're going to let this trade marinate. In the meantime, we're also going to take a look at gold, because we're going to be doing gold in similar fashion. Okay, now gold is actually, and we're going to go to our TradingView. We're going to go to our TradingView indicator and just see what gold is doing. Now, what's happening in gold is that gold has been basically in a downtrend for most of Asia session, and at the beginning of Europe, we have just begun to open up an uptrend, but we really don't have any signals yet. We do have enough width to say, yeah, this is perhaps beginning of an uptrend. But what we would like to see is we'd like to see one or two green labels. In this case, we want to see H labels. We want to see higher highs as a signal that an uptrend is legitimate, right? So we really don't have any trade in gold right now because it's just the beginning of a trend and no label support for our position, right? In the meantime, Bitcoin is the Bitcoin trade is kind of getting away from us on this level for right now. As I said, if we get up to like the 200 period SMA around about 800, 850, we'll get short a little bit larger and try to even out this trade as it goes. For now, we just don't, it hasn't moved far enough away from us to want to establish a second position, and just barely missed us on this trade for spread. So we don't have any legitimate trade right now. Either way, we just have to be super patient. Let the trade either get larger or get tighter. Come down into our 489 is our target. It's trading. What is it trading? Yeah, it's trading like 100 points against us, which is nothing. So we're gonna let this go. In the meantime, I want to set up my gold position properly. I just want to, and by the way, if you want to try out the flash trader, here, I'm going to put the flash trader. What's the leverage? In this case, as you can see, I'm trading with virtually no leverage. Here's, I put in a link here for those of you, who want to try out Flash Trader for free. You can literally download it for free and try it out for a little bit. If you want to get it permanently, just simply open an account with ACAP. Leverage is utterly immaterial because in my worldview, first of all, even if you had like 500 to 1 leverage, ACAP, like all intelligent brokers, I think capitates you at 5 large Bitcoin. They don't allow you to buy more than 5 large Bitcoin at any given time because it's such a volatile trade. It moves like $1,000 an hour. That 5 contracts of Bitcoin, is just huge amount of swing in your equity. So as you can see, I'm staying very much underneath it. So I have a $100,000 account. I'm trading like, a tenth of a Bitcoin as my initial trade, and my largest trade is going to be 0.8 of a Bitcoin. All of that, as you can see over here in margin, is going to here. You can see my margin position. You see on my margin level, I am so under my margin. I literally have virtually all my margin here, right? So that helps you to move. The moving averages are 200 and 8 period SMA. Those are the 2 moving averages. So if you have another broker at 1 at 500, and you want to have this tool, then open an account with ACAP, and you can trade with ACAP, and you can keep your other brokerage account as well. This is only available if you open an account with ACAP. So I will not give anybody the tool unless they're an American, to get this, because my friends at ACAP paid for this tool. And if you want to use it, you need to trade through them. They're a great trader. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to trade with them. They have the best spreads in Bitcoin of anywhere in the world. I doubt anybody could even come close to the tightness of this thing. This is the only platform in the world I know where I can trade for $100 Bitcoin consistently and make money all day long, which is what I try to do. Like if you wanted to, you could use this system to trade Bitcoin probably 10 to 20 times a day, make 2,000 Bitcoin almost, like clockwork, using this consistent entry. So that's why it's kind of really, really cool. So hopefully you guys will really like it. While Bitcoin is doing this, I wanted to set up gold here for just 1 second. with the correct version of my, just bear with me a sec, guys. Okay. Okay, I'm going to apply this on gold. Here's my tool over here. And for gold, I use the exact same sizing, which is 0.2, but obviously for gold, bigger trades, right? Let me do this. Cancel. Sorry. All right, you know what? Let me lay all this down, and I'm going to set this up for you. Okay. So as you see, I also have it in same chart, 4 different quadrants, so I can watch 4 different trades if I need to in gold. Now, gold actually is interesting. So gold is giving us a second signal here. And let me just set up the sizes. This is 0.1, 0.2, 0.4. Oh, it looks like you see the Bitcoin trade. That the Bitcoin trade just got done. We didn't even have to do anything. Plus 100. You see how it finally broke down, and Bitcoin trade got done. Nice. So first scalp of the day, we made money while I was setting up my gold. Now, here's the thing about gold that looks good to me. So gold looks like it's a legit uptrend now. Let me just take a look at the indicator, make sure the indicator is there. So I'm going to go with the gold. So 1-2 label. We haven't quite actually gotten the higher high on this label, but this is pretty good. I like the formation. We're holding the width. So my view on gold now is the next retrace label, the next label that comes down into the moving average. That's going to be my buy point. I'm going to initiate my first buy position in gold once it dips. Now, as I said to you, I'm always a retrace trader. You don't have to be. You could be a momentum trader. You could have bought this over here at 22.20, targeting 24.20, 2 points on gold, 10-point stop. Again, managing all of our positions intraday on the underlying, and you would have done fine, I think. But that's just not that's not my style. I like to wait for a dip before I can come in and take the position. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to wait for gold to see if it comes back down below the moving average. And when it does, I'll be a buyer there underneath there for my first initial trade. And then we will worry about the next trades. And I have to just simply set my stops and targets properly, because in gold, it's going to be 10-2 on all these positions. You see how easy it is to set stops and targets? This will, once I hit the buy button, all of this will be automatically put into the MetaTrader platform. So I don't have to worry about anything. The cool thing about this trading tool, that it allows you single-click structure, single-click setups, single-click entries into anything that you want to do, which is very, very cool. So gold is inching towards the moving average. I'll keep an eye on that. Let's go take a look at the how Bitcoin is trading. And so Bitcoin here, now this is interesting. You see how the Bitcoin, remember I said to you, we had the first sign that maybe we're starting to turn, and exactly the indicator showed you that Bitcoin was turning near the moving averages. And what it's showing you now is that it's actually starting a second downward leg. This is a momentum downward trend, right? So 16L showing you fresh, new, lower momentum trade, right? And this lower momentum trade is really interesting because the moving averages are compressed. We're starting a new negative trend. And how would I trade it? Well, if I had a retrace label, if it went through here and it gave me a 16L, so a reversal signal that would be lower than this 15H signal, I would be a seller. I'm going to be a selling the label. Moving averages are 8 and 200. So as an Australian, you can open an account. Yes, you can open an account with ACAP. Yes. I make except, like, in other words, as an Australian, you can absolutely open an account with ACAP. We can't, I give Australians essentially grace as far as all of our indicators, because you guys, there's regulations that the broker isn't allowed to give you the indicators, but we are. So no problem. The only people who literally can't open an account with ACAP are Americans, and for that I have a special link, or get a hold of me, and I'll be happy to set you up. Gold is running away from us, unfortunately, guys. We didn't get a chance to retrace trades. So this breakout trade was as good as it got, and we just the price I pay for trying to get a good price entry is sometimes the trade is going to run away from me. If you're a momentum trader, you could have taken this trade and it would have been just a beautiful straight up move. The point being is, as I said to you, the beauty is not what I do on a minute by minute, day to day basis. The beauty is the structure that I offer you, the analytical structure to be able to be either a momentum trader, a retrace trader, a trend trader, or a counter trend trader within any type of an instrument on any given day in any given structure is super flexible. It just gives you an enormous amount of confidence to know you have a reasonable chance, and more than a reasonable chance, to make money every single day on a scalp basis. Super cool. I'm going to do the exact same thing today at 9:15 New York when we trade futures as I do with CFDs. It really doesn't matter. I did the same thing in Asia yesterday with both Bitcoin on the CFD front and with futures on S&P front. So the analytical framework is what's really, really cool. And as I said to you, the analytical framework is all yours if you just open up an account with ACAP. Yes, South Africans absolutely can open with ACAP. Anybody, if you're anywhere in the world, except obviously the terrorist countries. If you're coming to me from Houthi, where are the Houthis located? Yemen? Is that what they are? Yeah. Where the hell are the Houthis? Jesus, I can't believe I forgot where the Houthis are. Houthis are, in Yemen. Okay. So if you're coming to me from Yemen, no, you can't have it. If you're coming to me from North Korea, you can't have it. But I'm assuming you're not a terrorist. So unless you don't come to me from a terrorist nation, I'm happy to. Yes, anybody can open an account. See how clean and beautiful the gold trade is. Now, here's what's interesting. Gold is really starting to break out, right? Gold is really starting to pump it up, and and I'm looking at Bitcoin here. Oh, Bitcoin. Let's do Bitcoin. We're gonna do. Let's sell a little bit of Bitcoin. Reset, sell. Again, I'm establishing my first position here in Bitcoin using the analytical framework that I showed you, because you see how it had the 16L and then the lower thing. And I think I'm actually going to make bank on this. Where am I? 50. You know what? I'm gonna take the trade here because I came in a little bit late. So instead of full 100 points, I'm gonna take 50 points on my Bitcoin and just reset it nice and calmly. I probably could make the full 100 points, but we'll take what we can get. The reason why is because I was just not watching this very carefully. Remember, I said to you, look, we have a inkling this is a downtrend. Next time we get a retrace move, and I said to you, I'm a retrace trader. If this is an L, 16L, I'm going to sell this. Selling this was like perfect. It was sold this right into the spike high. Probably I could have gotten a little bit better price over here into the 500s, and boom, we made money literally in 1 minute on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin now continues to kind of drift lower, and we'll have to see. We'll have to see where it goes. Generally, when we have this particular setup, right? When we have this particular setup in moving averages, what happens is, we have a wave down. If we have a failure at the big moving average, We generally have a second wave, but the second wave generally is not going to test the full lows. So one of the things I'm going to be looking for is once the width of the moving averages gets to probably around 93,000, somewhere around 93,000 Bitcoin, somewhere underneath there, I'm going to start looking for failed signals for where the lows aren't going to be making fresh lows, where they may not, I may not hold them. I may not be that lucky. It may just simply stabilize here and start to move to the upside. But regardless of how it's going to do it, I am going to play all these scenarios using my indicator as a guide for me. The really, really cool part, and I keep talking about this in my New York session. This is very esoteric, but trust me, this is probably the best trading advice you're ever going to get. I'm reading this book called A Short History of Intelligence, which is basically one of the most interesting books I've ever read. It basically analyzes the history of life from unicellular organisms to tiny little worms that are the first organisms that have neurons, all the way to us, right? And the TLDR on the whole idea of intelligence, the reason why we are the most intelligent species on Earth, that's why we as Homo sapiens have dominated all other species, is our ability to play out possible scenarios in our head. Evolution got to such an advanced point is that we went from reacting to stimuli to protecting to stimuli to communicating to ultimately having an internal view of the world in our head. And it is that internal view of the world in our head. It's our ability to play out, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? That allows us to anticipate the future. And that is what makes us the most intelligent species on Earth. Actually, they asked Elon Musk yesterday, I saw a clip of him somewhere saying, they asked him, how do you define intelligence? And he said something super interesting. He said, I define intelligence by the ability to predict future. The better you can predict future, the more intelligent you are, which is kind of an interesting definition, but it makes perfect sense. If you're an evolution, by the way, here's my signal, possibly give me some prediction into the future. Remember I said to you, I'm going to be looking for failures, right? For failed signals. This is 18H. It's no longer made a low, right? It's no longer made a low. We may be at a point of a reversal. In other words, all this whole sell-off leg is pretty much done, right? Now, there's two ways you can try and trade this. You can try and wait for another red move for a retrace, or you could just take this reversal signal as a possible reversal signal. So I'm going to do something unique with you guys because I'm going to show you a different way of trading. I'm going to try and take this reversal signal as a possible reversal signal. I got 16, 17 seconds left, 13, 14 seconds left. I'm going to go long now on this purple move. Okay, I'm long this position, and I'm going to try to build a long position in Bitcoin on the assumption that this selling leg has kind of exhausted itself, and now we have a reversal move back up, through the move. So, if I was really playing my, my own technique, I would wait to trade this. So I put myself. The reason why I don't like to do chase trades, to do momentum trades, is because I'm always putting myself at a disadvantageous price level, right? I'm chasing price. And the only way that strategy works really, really well is if you get a V-shaped recovery, if price never comes back. But I like to trade on a retrace. I like to buy cheap, sell expensive, because that always puts me in a better price position. So if I would simply waited over here, I wouldn't have bought 400s. I would have bought 300s. I would have had a 100-point better entry in Bitcoin than I did now. But I just wanted to show you the momentum technique, just for those of you who like to trade momentums and maybe are completely comfortable doing it this way. Anyways, my position would have been a buy here instead of a buy here. So we'll have to see if I can reconcile this a little bit. But anyways, what was I going to say? So I got off to. I was talking about the fact, intelligence is the ability to forecast future. The way we forecast future as traders is by playing out various scenarios. And the cool thing about the BFF scalper and the whole strategy and the whole techniques that I show you is that you get to play out various scenarios ahead of time and say, well, if this does this, this is what I'm going to do. And if this does that, this is what I'm going to do. So for example, right now, right, you see this thing dropping towards 93s. My second strategy in this is I'm going to be a buyer lower here. And I want to see, I'm just going to wait a little bit here. I want to see this thing go down to 93,100 before I open up my second position, because obviously my first position was kind of really, really weak position. Let's see if I can buy it over here. Let's see, like, maybe I may not be able to get, I was trying to get a good price here at the 100 level, but I'll be patient with this. The key thing with my technique is that you want to be super patient. If your first trade is out of bounds, you want to make sure that your second entry is at a good level. And I just it looks like I think that they're going to try and test the 93,000 level. So I'm going to try and stay patient and see if I could be a buyer over there. But again, the assumption here is that it's of course always possible that they could come back all the way down to the lower lows. But generally, when you have this kind of a wave, you're going to make kind of a second higher high somewhere around here, and it's going to turn itself around. So I had early signals of that possibly happening, but it may take two or three attempts here to kind of find a bottoming formation. I'm trying to see if I can get myself closer to 100 instead of 200 on the bid, but given the spread and everything else, it may not be possible. We'll see. No, I can't. All right, I'm gonna have to stay patient. This possibly is going to be like sort of a scratch trade cycle, because I try to show you a momentum trade instead of a retrace trade as my entry, which puts me at this. This is a very good example of not mixing and matching styles. I want to trade my own style, not the style that some of you may want to do it, but I just kind of wanted to demonstrate that style. So now pay the price. I think what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to take my. By the way, here's a cool thing. You can do negative take profit. I can do minus 50 here, right? And no, maybe 0. I can't do minus 50. Oh, why is this? What happened here? Why is this not TPing? Oh. Maybe 1. I think I have to do 1. Let me see if I can change to 1. Yeah. Okay, I changed it to 1. Basically, if it goes to break even, it will just take me out. This way, I've automated my exit, because I've kind of given up on this particular trade because it was against my style. But I would have bought over here, which would have been like right now at break even, and if we'd gone back to 300, I would have made money. Now I'm just gonna have to probably scratch this trade out, because I try to show you a different style. Meantime, let's go look at what gold is doing. Okay, gold is coming back down. Interesting. Let's go look at gold. Let's see if we have some opportunities in gold. So if I was sort of following my gold trade, I would have been a buyer here at the 25s. This is a 2H retrace, and I would be a little bit underwater here, right? And I would then have to kind of average in at around 22 here, and then try to, worst case scenario, try to kind of resolve the trade somewhere in the 18s. But since I missed this particular trade and this particular, the move in gold kind of dying out here, this gave us a buy signal that really wasn't working very well. And this is the whole point about my strategy, is that I'm fully aware that the first buy signal or the second one may not be the great initial one. I'm willing to, that's why I trade small size, and I'm willing to work out all of these scenarios in the future. So my second step would have been like, averaging myself in somewhere around this 23 level. So since I didn't have to take this first trade, I now have the opportunity to kind of get myself in a little bit cheaper. And I already missed the move. I try to buy 23s, so I just bought 24s. So I'm in over here, and I'm actually going to try and just only see if I can make $1 on this trade on a retrace back up. If that doesn't, if my first move doesn't work, then I'll be happy to try to resolve it further down on the support level. But it looks like I might be able to get. It was like 60. I was almost there. My target is going to be 25.07. I bought. Oh, and I want to show you something really, really cool. I'm just going to show this to you just to show you the function of this thing. Look at this. I hit the close all button. You see this? So I don't know if you guys were sort of watching the P&L. Let's say my Bitcoin came back up almost to break even, and my gold was now making money. By the way, gold totally goes to target. And I just said, you know what? I just want to get back to positive territory on my position, right? I was like around I was around 224, 225. I can hit the close all button in this thing, and it will close out all my positions at a gross net positive position, right? And sort of cool, sort of really, really cool. Another aspect of this particular structure. All right. Anyways, trading my gold position over here. This is a 3H position, right? The next move down, I'm going to be, if I get the next purple signal, will be a buy for me. So if I'm trading gold against gold over here, would have given me first entry at 25, second entry at around 23, which got resolved. Which I would have resolved over here. I just simply made this a first entry, resolved it over here at +8 instead of +1. And now I'll be looking for, my whole trade would have been resolved, but now I'm looking for my second trade cycle with a purple label as my next one. So like right now, here I am, here's a purple label. It's got to stay. What I'm looking for is basically a dip of the moving average. If it dips below the moving average, stays below the moving average, I'm a buyer. So let's go back. Now that we can set ourselves up properly in gold, right? I have 10, 11 seconds. I don't have a candle though. It's staying above the moving average. So did not drop below the moving average. So I could not quite get the price. So unfortunately, I couldn't get the trade here. Let's see if the next couple of candles do this. So I'm always, as I said to you, I'm always buying the retrace to give myself the best possible entry. And by the way, if we look at Bitcoin, you see how my Bitcoin trade totally resolved, came back. Had I bought over here, had I bought as I intended to on the red instead of on the purple, I would have been total profit of the position, right? So the whole thing totally resolved. And again, it showed you that we are very much bottoming out, or turning from negative to positive on Bitcoin, right? This sell-off wave had a second very, very mild sell-off wave, and that was it. There was nothing else going on over here, right? In the meantime, gold is kind of holding bid right now for the time being, so at around the 25 level. So you can see how using the indicator with the price action, with all these techniques, just completely. At what point is the moving average in the gold positioned? I'm sorry, I don't know what do you mean at what point? It's an 8-period moving average, 200-period moving average. Those are the two moving averages that stay there. Okay. So we're going to give it a few more minutes. This is a much bigger, bigger zoom on the gold trade. If I can get a move below, right over here, maybe around 24.50, I'm a happy buyer here. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna buy it at 22. I'm gonna buy it at 18. I will resolve this trade. That's what I keep doing. That's how I keep scalping all day long, any instrument I want, with continued success. As you can see, I started the day with you guys at around 96,200. We made about 25 in very, very sloppy fashion because I had a lot of different distractions. But nevertheless, every single session I've traded with you since I started doing this last week has been a positive session because of this particular approach. And if you guys like that approach, I hope you guys really enjoy it. Take advantage of it. Okay, we're almost getting there now. I need to see the purple label. This thing has got to break the moving average for me to get interested in gold again. Getting close. Okay, almost there. Excuse me. This is actually very positive price action. And if I was trading myself, so in other words, if I'm kind of trading myself, not showing you the proper technique step by step, I would have been a buyer right underneath there. This is actually very, very bullish. The fact that it tested the moving average and bounced back off, it tells me it's probably going to go higher. So this I would have easily bought this over here, and I would have been already in the money on the trade. So you can once you get good at this thing, you can get a good degree of interpretation of what is a good trade, what is a bad trade. But if you're trading trend as I'm doing right now, in a pretty clear, well-established, nice wide moving averages, like we've been in trend for the last half hour. That's very healthy. That means prices, markets are pretty bullish about gold. The indicator is showing us the market's pretty bullish about gold, and all I'm trying to do is buy this thing at value to give myself the best possible chance of success. Anyways, I hope you guys got a good idea of some of the techniques of how this works. Have I got this approach documented? This approach is documented by me showing you how to do this, right? By me live trading with you guys how to do this. It has 500 different possibilities of how you want to trade it, right? That's the beauty of it. It gives you the tools to interpret and make the trade. So the more you trade with me, the more you come hang out with me, the more you bring your friends here, the more you're going to be able to make it your own. Because the key thing that I wanted to emphasize here is this is the way I trade it. I'm a retrace trader that buys dips. Your personality could be completely different. You may be just a pure trend trader. And then you're going to have to create your own version of this that's going to be in sync with your personality. The very cool thing is that the tool gives you the opportunity to trade trend, counter trend, chase, retrace, any way you like it. That's why I don't have a single unified. I hate the idea of one way or the highway approach. There is no one way of trading. Okay, there is no one single rule of how you want to trade. The only rule that you want to follow is one that is in sync with your personality. So the reason why you're seeing my success is because this is very much in sync with my personality, okay? If you were a trend trader, you could have just simply bought this green arrow. You would have been freaking, 30 points in the money. The important thing is to understand the nuances, the techniques of each one of these tools, and then use the tool to help you trade it. That's the key thing. What you see over and over and over again is how good the analytics of my signal is, right? Of how accurate it is in terms of telling you, yes, if you're a trend trader, you can buy the breakouts, you can buy the dips, you can do whatever you want. Just make it your own. So does that make sense? So what are the arrows? The arrows are the exact same arrows. This is the reversal arrow. This is the continuity arrow. This is the trend arrow. This is the reversal arrow, right? Yes, and you can actually watch my prior lives to get a good idea. But more importantly, I want everybody if you have friends who are interested in trading, if you have friends who are kind of interested in learning how to trade short term on a daily basis, bring everybody into the room. I really want as many people as possible to discover how cool it is to trade short term. You see, guys, I trade live with you every single day. There's nothing to hide here. I can't escape price action. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You're going to see it. And you see how well this all does it. Yeah, it's the purples on MetaTrader are the exact same thing as purples on TradingView. This is simply this exact same indicator on MetaTrader as it is on TradingView. And if you want the MetaTrader, tools as well as TradingView, just simply as I said, just open an account with ACAP, and you're going to get everything from me for free. So I'm going to put that link in there again. For those of you guys who want to join me in New York, I'll be trading New York. I'll be trading my prop futures account. But as you can see, the CFD account is doing really well. And my only errors today was that I missed the gold trade, which I just didn't quite get the entry that I wanted. Both MetaTrader 5 or MetaTrader 4. This is a MetaTrader 5 platform, but the tools are both MetaTrader 5, MetaTrader 4. Both tools you'll be able to download. If you want to try them, here's the here you can try the tools here to see how they play around. And if you like them, you can come back and open the account. Yep, the arrows of the MetaTrader platform. This is all you're a MetaTrader. This is a MetaTrader indicator and a MetaTrader EA that's executing all these executing all this stuff. Generally, the rule of thumb is that in London I trade on MetaTrader, and then in New York I trade on TradingView. Great, absolutely, have fun. Everybody, come join me. I'll do this again tomorrow. We're going to try to trade tomorrow. This is the last day this week because of the holidays. The link is in the link. I just put the link in there. Just click that link and you can try them. Okay, where it says I just put the link to download the tools. Okay, all right, guys. Everybody have a wonderful day. I'll see everybody 9:15 today for New York trade. Another good session for us. Thanks very much. Bye bye.